Have you ever noticed how some people work their whole lives, yet never get ahead? Decades of hard work, endless hours at the office, but still stuck in the same financial struggle. Why? Because they're busy building someone else's dream instead of their own. That's the trap of the rat race. And here's the truth Robert Kiyosaki shares in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you want freedom, you must learn to mind your own business. Not your employer's, not your boss's, yours. Lesson 3: Mind your own business. Today, I'll break down what that really means and how you can start shifting from working for money to building assets that work for you. Most people spend their lives working at a job, and they think that job is their business. But Robert Kiyosaki makes something very clear. Your job is not your business. Let me explain with a simple example. Imagine a doctor. On the surface, he looks successful, great salary, respected career, driving a nice car. But here's the problem. The moment he stops working, the money stops flowing. If he takes a long break, or worse, can't work anymore, his income disappears. That's not a business. That's a job. Now imagine the same doctor, but instead of just spending everything he earns, he buys an apartment building. He rents it out. Even while he's resting, money still comes in. That's called an asset. That's a real business. See the difference? The rich don't confuse the two. They know their salary pays the bills, but only assets create freedom. Your job feeds you today, but your assets feed you for life. That's why Kiyosaki says, mind your own business. Don't get lost in building wealth for your boss or your company. Start building wealth for yourself, even if it's small at first. It could be investing in real estate, buying stocks, starting a small side hustle, or creating digital products. The key is this: put your energy into building something that works for you, even when you're not working. Because at the end of the day, you can either spend your life working for money, or spend your life building something that sets you free. Here's the truth. Your job gives you income, but only assets give you freedom. That's the heart of Robert Kiyosaki's third lesson. Think about it. When you're working at a job, you're helping to grow your employer's business, and that's fine for today. It pays the bills. But if you want to escape the rat race, you've got to start building your own asset column. So, what does that mean for you? Especially if you're a student or just starting out. It doesn't always have to be something huge like buying apartments or investing in the stock market right away. You can start small. Create something of your own. For example, start a YouTube channel or a blog. That's an asset because your videos or posts can keep bringing in views, even while you sleep. Build a small digital business, freelancing, graphic design, or even coding. Once you create a product or skill, it keeps working for you. And yes, later in life you can invest in real estate, stocks, or other bigger opportunities. The point is simple. Stop putting all your energy into building someone else's dream. Start building something that belongs to you. And if you're curious about modern ways, like digital marketing, don't worry, I'll make another video just for that. Just drop a comment below and let me know. Remember this: your salary pays your expenses, but your assets build your future. That's why the rich focus on growing their assets, and you should too. Here's where most people get it wrong. The poor and middle class are told, work harder, climb the ladder, get promoted, earn a little more. But the rich, they ask a different question. Why climb someone else's ladder when I can build my own? Think about this. One person flips burgers at McDonald's. They show up every day, trade hours for dollars. And if they stop working, the money stops too. Now compare that to someone who owns 3 McDonald's franchises. They're not behind the counter. They've built a system that earns for them. The same company, but 2 completely different outcomes. The poor and middle class chase security. The rich build systems and ownership. That's the mindset shift that changes everything. So here's the takeaway. Your job is important, but it's not your true business. Your real business is the assets you quietly build on the side. That could be a skill, a channel, a product, or eventually an investment. Don't spend your whole life climbing someone else's ladder. Start building your own. Even if it's small today, One step toward ownership is worth more than years of just working harder, because in the end, freedom doesn't come from a paycheck. It comes from assets you control. Before you click away, ask yourself this: what's one asset you can start building today? It could be a skill, a side hustle, or even a small online project. That single step might feel small now, but it's the foundation of your financial freedom. And remember, this is only lesson 3 from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you want to keep learning and growing with me, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for lesson 4. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.